Nice. Did you finish your first beer already?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, this guy's on. He's ready to go.
Chris McGraw, double fish Saturday night, baby. He is ready to go.
Purely for theatrical effect.
That's it.
But he will drink it because he leaves no Coors Light behind.
No, never do.
I tried to find the episode we started with the crack of the beer because I've listened to them all like 92 times.
It's like somewhere towards the end. It's like in the 20s, I think.
And our ratings have been boosting every time.
Every day. Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us here on could you ask for a better night right now? A brisk 80 degrees here in Chicago, Illinois. Wonderful day. Perfect day to run a half marathon.
Some would say 2.
Or not.
Or not. Oh, there were people that were starting over in the half marathon.
It also became like a mile run for some people.
Some people didn't want to do the whole thing. That's all right. That's their choice. Hey. Thank you again for joining us here on a kind of a somber, 20-year anniversary of 9/11. Which is
nothing says pregame podcast like 9/11 talk.
Here's the weird thing about that. Like anniversary, you think like don't you? When I think
it almost sounds like an upbeat thing,
yeah.
And then to think of an anniversary of like a terrible thing, it's like
Pearl Harbor is the same thing they do. They memorialize that every year too.
Yeah,
I feel though because we're so far removed from that, it's like it's a piece of history, but this is like something that we experienced and we're completely
I mean, there are people alive still were there for Pearl Harbor as well.
Yes.
Oh yes.
And so, which is we could definitely go into. You see all those things, which is weird. I've seen some like the Rosemont mall outlet malls. Like we stand with the first responders and we'll never forget 9/11. And it's just like. It's nice that they do those things, but I also feel like it's almost like you have to do it. Like
it's pandering, and it's it's just like
I've seen a lot of things lately where it's like it's not for 9/11, but like where they have at bars they show like an empty table with like I think 13 beers or whatever for I believe it's the number of people that died in the airport, the troops that died at the airport siege in Afghanistan recently.
Oh yeah,
I see that a lot of places where like you see like 13. I forget the number, but I think it's 13. Like beer glasses but nobody at the table. Yeah. And they sort of like bars are posting it, and I wonder is like I get what they're trying to do, but also is it a little bit like exploitation?
It's sort of it almost trivializes it and turns it into like an ALS ice bucket challenge that really you don't get the meaning, and you're like, oh,
it's one thing if you went to a bar and it was like that, and like there wasn't like maybe a social media thing about it, but like to do I don't know. To
Again,
me,
I don't know. Because now you go on Twitter, you go on like, and that's why I didn't do anything. And I'm just like, this is I don't know. It felt like people were more not celebrating, but like had to make a comment about it. And it's like, listen, we went through it. That was a scary day. Like I remember like as a kid, like I didn't get the full ramifications, but
I remember thinking though. I do remember like that day. I remember exactly where I was, and I remember somebody on the news saying, "We're not sure if they're looking for attacking major monuments." So then we could see the Sears Tower, and there was like worry about that, and they had pulled people out of there. I knew some people that worked there that day.
Yes.
My uncle. Out the entire.
My uncle told me that they pulled everybody. Like Tochi, they pulled everybody out of the Sears Tower.
I remember coming home like they started watching it on TV, and then they realized what it was, and they turned off all the TVs at school. And when I got home, like I had it on, and like I remember the tower collapsing, and like it's like.
Oh, they sent you home early, or were you there the whole day, and then you came home and watched it?
I came home and watched it. It was like I don't know if it was a replay or not.
Yeah,
it was live or not, but they
turned it
off.
It would have been live if you came home at like 3 because it all happened in the morning. No, what I remember, nobody told us. The class I was in, the lady got called out. Like the teacher got called out, and all the adults were told. And the lady came back and she was crying.
That's interesting.
And I was like,
we had mass in my school, so I was in mass at the time that was going on. And we went back to class, and they put all the TVs on, and they're like, "Oh shit, this is really bad," and they turned all the TVs off.
So I had a very opposite experience in that we heard about it at school early enough that they pulled it up on the TV and we all watched it the rest of the day. So much so that we saw the second plane fly into the second tower live.
Wow!
You got it right.
Did you see that too? Because I know you were.
I was at Pat's and they came on the announcement.
At St. Pat's, the high school. He was at high school.
He's not at my house.
Yeah, they came on over the intercom, told everybody that a plane had crashed into the World Trade Center, and most of the people, like, you just kind of went on with your day. Like, I had no idea what the hell the World Trade Center was, really.
I didn't know what it was until after.
And then,
after that.
And then, like, they literally came on, like, maybe, like, an hour later. It felt like 30 minutes, but I'm told, like, it was somewhere, like, an hour after, like, another plane that crashed into the other building.
Yeah.
So they're, oh, shit, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
So then they just, like, pretty much cut, like, school the rest of the day. Like, they put TVs in everybody's room. You watched it and you just kind of worked. It was like study day.
Yeah. Which is kind of nice because you're watching history and you're kind of seeing it. Where like I had no idea really what was going on until Dog Stop. They let us out early, and I went to lunch at Dog Stop, and on the TVs in this like Dog Stop is like a little restaurant. Right? Yeah. They had it on, and everybody in the restaurant. It was like 1 o'clock. It was fixated. Everything was kind of done.
I mean, I think when you're like 13, so like. You don't
get it.
You kind of get that it's like it's a terrorist, but you don't really understand like what this means.
It's also like that happened to us at such a young age, where something like that never happened before. I remember like I just wanted to say I remember our teacher being like, should we be letting the kids watch this? And I remember it was a Catholic school, so it was a nun as a principal. She goes, this is history like in the making, like this is unheard of. They're going to hear about it eventually. They might as well just watch it now and process it. Yeah. But it's kind of like now that's become such a norm. Some stuff like that. Like I feel like we've grown numb to it. Like shootings now. Like it's like
school shooting is a good example. Like because like Columbine, it was like the news. It was everything in the news. Yes. Now you have a school shooting last week, and like you barely heard about it.
Now there's four. Like there's like Chicago had like four. Not it wasn't school shootings, but you had four mass shootings, which I get is like 4 people are shot, but you don't hear about it. That doesn't even make the news anymore. That's crazy.
I feel like we've grown up to that, but for a lot of parents, like or our parents' generation, it was like presidents getting assassinated or attempted assassinated. Like it was such a normal thing.
Yeah,
like
because Reagan, JFK.
If it happened,
Robert Kennedy wasn't. He was a candidate, but he wasn't. Yeah.
Yep. If it happened now, that would be like, holy, somebody's trying to kill the president. Like that's wild. Like. But for them, it was normal. Where now this is.
I was always a little surprised there was never an attempt on Obama for something. I thought there would be.
Dude, I remember when he did the thing. They had the bulletproof glass up and everything, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was like
with the radicalism against him. I just thought that someone might take a chance at it. But
I thought the same thing with Trump.
That could have, There are a lot of radicals.
I thought because of like the radicalness of just how far. I was like, there'd be somebody who's like, saying they're liberal and they're like, we got to end this to save everyone, just being crazy.
I could see someone, some of this. I mean, you have the outfit.
Yeah, but that's kind of we forget, but everybody hated not everybody because he got voted twice, but people absolutely hated George Bush.
Oh yeah,
the W.
I feel like people.
Retrospect, he don't seem so bad, does he, guys?
Yeah, right.
Well, that's what. Yeah, I feel like people kind of like.
At least he was at least with it. Like he might not know. He might not have known how to speak the English language very well.
He wasn't the wordsmith.
He had some real poor advisors.
Yes. And he chose
and that kind of doomed him a little bit. And obviously in hindsight, it's 2020, but he got some.
I think people look back on him now and like him.
Well, I think they like who he is.
Yeah, I don't think
his presidency. No, it was not great.
He seems like a good person.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Yes. A well-intentioned person.
When you're looking at him, you're like, he never really wanted to. He would be. That's kind of what you want as a president. Somebody who's going to do well for everybody. But like Pat said, I think people took advantage of him. Like Dick Cheney for sure, they took advantage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But they let corporations.
He's probably terrified of Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm terrified of Dick
Cheney's had like 900 attacks, still kicking, baby.
Lastly, on the remembering September 11th, I did read 2 kind of crazy articles. 3 actually. One was that 2 of the hijackers were late to their flight, and one of the ticket guys, who was really good at his job, made sure that they got on their flight, and he has blamed himself since that day.
Well, he's just doing his job.
Now he's because he read the commission and he was just a small blurb in the whole thing, so he knows he's just a little clog. But you could have said, "Hey, you're going to catch the next one," and instead he worked extra hard to get them on that plane.
It's like he was doing so good. He was trying to be so good for his job.
Don't forget the protocols for airplanes were so much different back then too.
Yeah, that is very true.
I mean, we really never knew flight too much before then. Like
that is true.
We're used to flying in a post 9/11 world. Like pre 9/11, you just go up to the gates and say hi to people, walk them on the planes.
No, I get it.
Yeah. We used to go into because we had a bunch of family flying back and forth to Ireland.
Yeah.
We'd go into the gates with them.
Yeah.
We'd go past security, we'd eat,
I mean,
and then they'd get on their flight, and then we'd go back.
It was like a 4-inch blade
you
you could carry, right? Like
Yeah.
a 4-inch blade they hijacked was like that. That's like, I mean, it's like that. It's like a 4-inch. That's not like a little insignificant blade that you can just carry on like nothing.
Yes. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah. The second one I heard was about a guy who has survivor guilt.
Survivor's guilt.
He was a guy who I couldn't believe it. This blew my mind. This guy was in a tower that went down. Like when it just completely fell. He was I could be wrong, but I think it was 20 floors up.
Uh-huh.
He was 20 floors up and he felt that it was going down. Like he's like, crap. So he got up he was in the stairwell, got up next to the corner and just like put his hands over his head and was like, God, don't let this be today. And he's going down and then it just whoosh and he's going down and he's like holding on to, like not holding on, but he's like in between two pieces of like cement, like this. So he's sitting in there and he feels something smack him in the head, but then like kind of like sits on top of him. So he's kind of like a cocoon going 20, all he got out of that. The only thing that happened to him was he broke his ankle, I think.
How long did it take him to get out?
You know what? They didn't actually go into that, but they went into
because the odds are he's got debris all around him. He ain't walking out.
No, you're right. Yeah. But I just couldn't imagine somebody. When you saw those towers going on, nobody could survive. No, this dude rode it down to the ground.
I mean, watching all those things, like you watch people that decide that they would rather jump off the top where they can't get down. Like,
dude, didn't you know? I forget who I was talking to. Didn't somebody jump out and survive? Like when we talking, I thought somebody was telling me about this.
I did not tell you that. That's for sure.
I think they made the decision and they rode they slid down and survived. Actually,
I don't think there's any way you could jump out of that.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'm full. And then the last one was there was this guy. He was on the floor, I think, or he was like around the floor. He got hit with like a golf ball or a softball sized chunk of metal that was in his side, and he was trying to go down the stairs. And so at one point he just fell up against the wall and was just like gushing blood. And two guys put him on their shoulders. One guy put his hand on there, held this from stop bleeding, and they carried this guy down, and they all survived.
That's awesome.
And they're all friends to this day.
That's wild.
Their lives are together.
Yeah,
it's pretty gnarly.
I mean, you got the guy that got carried down. You got to think. You know.
Oh, you know what and that's what he said on the way down. He's like, when we, and he didn't even say if. He's like, when we survive, I'm gonna buy you guys a beer. And the next week, he bought them both beers.
That's awesome.
I was like, man, that story should be like spread across, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Like, there's a lot of sad things that it's a sad event and sad things come out of it. I mean, when they say 20 years, like for the families, like every year is the same like horrible reminder of what happened to their family and friends. So it's it never ends for them. 20 years is no different than 1 year or 3 years or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you look at all the kids now who are in their 20s.
Pete Holmes is a guy whose dad died in 9/11. Firefighter.
Who's Pete Holmes?
Or Pete.
Pete Davidson. Pete Holmes is also a comedian, though.
Yeah. Switched up my Pete's.
Yeah. You know who? Buscemi. Right now, it's not his name. What's his name?
Steve Buscemi.
Buscemi. You know, he was a
firefighter. He was a New York firefighter.
And he went back and volunteered.
Yes, and volunteered
after on 9/11.
On 9/11, yeah.
I didn't know he went there on 9/11.
Yeah. And then he was there afterwards, and he's like, it was better to not wear a mask than to wear, because he couldn't breathe, because the smoke that was getting in there.
Yeah.
It was too hard to breathe through a mask. So they went with he's just like, forget it. But that's why all those guys got cancer. Mm-hmm. And they were joking, they're like, in 20 years, we're all going to be dead. Because they could smell and taste what they were breathing in wasn't good.
Oh, man. I mean, I mean, it's so unnatural for something like that to occur that there's no precedent or, rule of engagement.
I mean, when they tear a building like that, they do a controlled demolition still comes down and they take a lot of shit out of there.
Oh, and you got to wear certain masks.
Yes. I was going to say, is that because, and they probably did that because they were trying to save human lives, that they just rushed in? But am I thinking, I'm like, what if this building just, was it made so, in the early, it was such an old building that it was just made with, a bunch of asbestos? It's crazy. You hear all those firefighters.
I mean, you're not supposed to, even when you do drywall dust, you're supposed to put your mask on.
Yeah, I think I don't know if that
it's just all kinds of stuff that shouldn't be in your lungs.
Started it, but it was there was definitely. I mean, there was so much rubble though. Like people miles away were getting that dust too. You know.
Oh yeah.
Like it was just yeah.
I do love the conspiracy theories on 9/11. There's some good ones.
I went down a rabbit hole in like
I think everybody's done
early 20s,
right?
They were those like shitty ass like YouTube videos where like you're like, look, this is the devil in the smoke, and you're like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, I started finding out the U.S. government was behind that.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, that was a hell of a tangent, boys.
Real uplifter start.
But I think you do have to recognize that. We're doing a podcast. We're probably not gonna do a podcast again on September 11th for.
I mean,
if we ever do another one.
It was a horrible event that has really changed the world forever since then.
And not
for
really,
good ways.
really, really bad ways because, let alone the Afghanistan 20-year war,
which is, as of this moment, seemed like it's coming to a close. Like in that we're
for now, but I mean, you don't know what's going to happen in the future over there.
Yeah,
I mean, the region's incredibly unstable right now.
Oh yeah.
You know, we could go on to this too. I was listening. Joe Rogan and Tom Segura were talking about this, but you know why it's so messed up there? Is because of Europeans created the borderlines of what like Afghanistan is, and you know why they did that? Because there was very strong tribes, and then when they cut the tribes in half, so they made borderlines so that these tribes don't. So people are living with people that they've never lived with.
I mean, it's the same geniuses that decided to throw the Jewish people in Israel like no one ever lived there.
Yeah,
like let's send them back to the homeland, right? Like I mean. You know, they hate each other for the last, 70 years, 80 years, whatever, how many years it's been since World War II.
That's true.
And they threw them in there, like, come on.
Not very smart people. But, yeah, I thought it was very interesting, like, that they were talking about it. That actually Afghanistan was one of the most progressive countries.
Oh, yeah, dude. I saw photos of this, like, years ago of, like...
Prior to Afghanistan.
Yeah, like...
Or prior to the Russians coming...
Yeah, like, when the hijab was not a thing, like, you didn't have to have your face, and they were, like, it looked like the 70s in New York, like, where it was so, like, it was wild.
Yep. And it was because the king owned the, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You gotta get Chris McGraw into this today. He's got no.
Chris McGraw.
You don't have to worry about
Chris McGraw.
No interest in any of this.
Chris McGraw is doing a moment of silence for all of us on our behalf.
yeah. He's doing the silence for us. So let's.
Do you just not have anything, or do you just not care about? Like, this is like a topic. You're like, like I feel for the people, and it's just.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do much. I haven't seen any of like the Zeitgeist stuff or whatever those stupid YouTube videos were on that. Never saw anything about that.
Oh, okay.
Never really like read anything into it. I know what happened, but like, I mean, like outside of going to
whenever it gets difficult, you zip it up.
Yeah, because
there's a Netflix documentary.
But there's also like I'm not going to sit here and try to chime in on something that I don't know very much about or don't have much to say about.
If you feel interested, Chris, there's a Netflix documentary that kind of shows you.
No, I saw.
Have you guys watched it? Because isn't there also an HBO one that like they did on?
I watched the HBO one, but I'm not sure. But I watched the first 2 episodes of the one on Netflix, and I fell asleep on the third one because I was late.
I thought there was I think there's an HBO thing that kind of formulates why everything kind of happened.
Yeah, this one's kind of taking you like from the day and like the events that kind of like the things that have happened as before it and as a result of after of it. Like,
if you were a part of 9/11, I think one thing that or like if you were a child or a young adult, a teenager when it happened, the 9/11 like memorial, I think, is something you should definitely take.
Oh yeah, that was
because it really brings you back to that day.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Jon Stewart stuff, like that. It was
like the media that was being like the way people were talking, and then hearing
just how life was before and after.
Definitely recommended.
Okay, so on that note, we just want to mention again that you can check us out on Instagram and Twitter. We have Podcast SMP. YouTube, please, for the love of God, subscribe to YouTube. We have 10 subscribers. We need 15 more to get our YouTube channel.
Four in this room.
Yes, 4 are in this room. We need...
gotta love yourself.
Yeah, baby. Listen, all those likes and listens and listen. You gotta... If you're not gonna promote yourself, who's gonna promote you, Pat?
Exactly.
You can reach us at the snppodcast@gmail.com. We're brought to you by Chris's favorite accounting firm, DLM Tax and Accounting. If you need a need of tax and accounting services, please check out dlmtax.com or email them at admin@dlmholdings.net you won't be disappointed. Pat, get off the phone. What are you doing?
I don't even listen
I
to
got you.
I've heard this for 40-something episodes already. I know the deal.
Do you know what episode we're on, Pat?
149.
50.
Oh, we're close to 50. We're gonna
we're
get.
at 49. This is the 49.
We'll get. Good job, Pat.
In your face, Christopher.
We'll get a pod
In the
little,
face.
little banner that says "You're the best, the best,
All right.
simply the best."
I hope your Chris Tingle, but he's more accurate than your number of the podcast, Christopher.
Pat Lynch, you're gonna get slapped around like the bitch you are.
Is anybody excited for the fights tonight?
No.
The boxing fights.
I honestly didn't.
The
I
what's
had
it,
a different response, but I
Holyfield?
realized we're past 15 minutes in that, Chris.
Are we past?
Yeah, I
Okay.
wish I would have known that before that comment came out.
It's Holyfield versus Vitor Belfort, Joe.
Oh,
How
my
does
goodness.
Vitor Belfort not absolutely destroy Holyfield?
It's boxing, not you can't clinch, really.
Holyfield is on the juice, by the way, again. Dude,
I hope so. He's 58 years old.
He looks like he was never a guy that went out of shape.
Yeah, he looks great.
Oh yeah.
But I just can't imagine him not killing Holyfield tonight, unless they're really like they call Holyfield and they're like, "Yo,
I thought
easy, baby." Or I'm sorry, they call Vitor and they're like, "Yo, you want to make some money? You can't kill Holyfield tonight."
It's like Anderson
so.
Silva
You
all
think
day over.
Vitor Belfort will just wipe the floor with Holyfield?
I mean, if he really hits him, you got to imagine his punches. I mean, I get Holyfield is a more technical
He is
boxer.
18 years younger than him, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I would be curious because I feel like, I mean, they fought at heavyweight. Vitor Belfort's not like a boxer, like striker, so I don't know. Like, I'm sure. I feel like boxers.
Wasn't he a striker in the UFC?
You know what's going to happen? The
He
same
was,
thing
but
that
he wasn't
happened
like-
when he fought Anderson Silva.
Listen, it's going to be a joke.
Evander
fight.
Holyfield is going to front kick him in the face, and it's going to be over.
By the way, I'd take Silva all day over.
And so then, Joe, the undercard has Tito Ortiz versus Anderson Silva.
Wow.
And guess who the special announcer for Vitor Belfort and Evander Holyfield is going to be?
Jordan Belfort.
he was.
John-
He was.
I'm sorry.
The former president himself,
Of the Estados Unidos.
Donald.
Jay.
It's gonna be a great right hook, guys. It's great right hook. It's the best right hook I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
I know a guy that showed me the right hook.
Guys, you're going to see me in 2024
I know.
looking
Mike
like
Tyson's looking
Vitor.
6 out there. That's Evander Holyfield. That's fake news. Fake news.
This is going to be like his first return to media.
Triller wants. They've called Bill. They want to get Bill to do a boxing game.
Bill Gates.
Bill
Yeah,
Ga-
no, I'm sorry,
Bill
Bill
Clinton.
Clinton. Yes, I should.
Where them
probably-
ring girls at, ladies? Where them ring girls at?
Guess I gotta go. I gotta go talk to this ring girl. You know, like people.
Oh, and there's Hillary in the crowd. Oh, never mind.
Who is that there?
No, you know what's crazy? So, like in the news, like something that's really big in the news is the Monica Lewinsky Bill Clinton like scandal
Yeah,
thing.
because they're doing a show about it on FX.
No, I get it. No, you're right. And so like people, but nobody I know is watching that garbage. It's people who are just a little bit older than us that like kind of that was like a big deal.
I don't know if you saw Pat Lynch there. He got kind of quiet and his eyes kind
I
of
know,
shifted.
watch it.
He's watching it. He's definitely watching
I
it.
have thought about watching it, but I've not watched it yet.
Nah, you're watching it.
I don't. If you watch it, you watch it. I feel like
I watched the OJ one.
I've not seen the
you know
OJ one.
OJ's scared to go to LA. He's scared the killer's gonna come for him.
Yeah, really.
I'm kidding.
What?
Is he looking in the mirror, or what is he doing?
Look it up. OJ is scared to go to LA or to go to California because he's scared that the guy who killed his wife or ex-wife is out to kill him.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What's stopping him from leaving California to find where OJ's at in the United
Yeah.
States?
Yeah. Like, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, he's like, I'm not even.
That border from California to the rest of the United
I
States.
might-
The guy likes California, and he is not leaving California.
No,
I
no,
might
he's in
even see
Vegas.
if I can ride
No,
a
I'm
white
sorry,
Bronco
sorry.
across the
Well,
nation to his
he's
joint.
in Vegas.
Well, yeah, OJ's in Vegas.
Yeah, that's like
Hello,
Oh yeah,
Hello?
he's untouchable there. Yeah,
it's a wind
totally
assisted piss from fucking Los
Is he
Angeles.
gonna go beating up somebody else up for his merchandise back?
I just thought that was hilarious. I will. God,
That
can
was
you imagine
good.
if we can get OJ in a fight like him and Trump, or Trump wants to fight
Get George
Biden.
Foreman and OJ out there.
Biden's that would be terrible.
Biden's not.
No, you gotta get Biden and freaking what's his face, Bernie Sanders, because they're like both.
How about we get the vice president? We get Kamala Harris. I don't pronounce the name right. Kamala.
Ooh, look at this guy.
Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump.
You looked at me. I can't say any word.
That was a really poor choice. I meant to look at Chris.
I can't get any words right. All right.
I want to see her. I want to see her slap Donald around a little bit.
The other thing is, I don't think we told the fans.
The
back,
fans.
baby. We're back. We got Josie's Lock of the Week. This is the first weekend of NFL.
We did say this last week. We have these back.
Did we say that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we didn't. This is the first week we're doing it.
Yeah. So we got Chris's Tiddo Bitties. I had to clean it up on Twitter. I was like Chris's Tidbits, and then I put Josie.
Twitter doesn't like tickle bitties.
I'm trying to keep it fan friendly. We've set up a fan duel for this Saturday Night Pregame podcast. We got Josie's Lock of the Week.
We changed from the 5 pick'em thing to FanDuel because
we were so good at the 5 pick'em, guys. We got it 0 weeks out of 17.
So if you're running a FanDuel league, we're off to a great start with our betting too. Stupid Tampa Bay and Dallas is under.
You didn't consult with anybody in that one, Peter. You went rogue.
I called. Or I was listening to.
Called Stansbury up.
Yes.
Stansbury.
I was listening to a gambling guy. He's the guy who gave me the pit.
Yeah, that's where you're
He doesn't learn, ladies and gentlemen at home.
All right. Well, you know what? I need a beer. Let's start. So we're all over the place. So we're gonna by the end of this podcast, you're gonna get some Tiddo Bitties. You're gonna get a Josie Lock of the Week. We're gonna give you a fan duel.
And I got an article to bring up.
Pat Javant's got some articles, but we're gonna get into the beer. We're doing fall beers. It is September. I guess it is kind of fall at this point, right?
Yeah.
So we're not really ahead of the game.
A brisk 80 degrees outside.
Joe, would you like to give us
Joe, did you take a picture of these beers?
No.
I thought we took it last week.
Little marketing. Well, yeah, let's put 2 here. Look at it. We're doing marketing on the podcast, boys. But yeah,
Chris McGraw with the save.
Chris McGraw, you're the best. Well, you're always the best.
We've got a...
Oh, that doesn't sound good. Something came up on that one.
Yeah.
Something definitely came up on that one.
That one could be edited out, Joe.
Yeah.
That one
it smells terrible. Jesus Christ.
That's Chris's lunch coming back up right there.
Wow, brother. Jesus Christ.
And you had one Italian sausage, and I got 2.
Yeah, seriously. You know, Chris, so we're going to be all over the place. This podcast is going nowhere.
That's before the 8% 8% beers here that we're about to have.
Well, you know what, Joe? Give me
So,
and then I'll get into the story about...
this is a Southern Tier Brewing Company product called the PumKing. Imperial Pumpkin Ale. Pumpkin pie in a glass, it describes itself. And it's 8.6% by volume. So it's a bit heftier in the...
Yeah,
I believe we've had this beer at...
yeah, we have.
The Super
Katrina said the same thing to me, and I'm like,
yes.
okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This is the best. This is one of the... This tastes like a slice of pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving.
Each one.
Yeah. Last year, I remember being at Benny's, and this one was completely sold out.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of places.
So,
This one isn't bad because it actually tastes almost like a pumpkin pie.
Well, this is probably fresh as it's going to be, to stay around till November.
Has anyone ever had a different type of beer by the Southern Tier Brewing Company?
Okay. No.
I don't recognize the company. I feel like I've seen it, but I don't know.
Joe, if you've been to Brookfield Zoo Brew with us.
Yeah. Oh, I've definitely had it.
You've
there.
been drunk
had
it a couple times.
That's one of the funner ones. I like that setup where it's like you just go around and around and
like
around.
a figure eight.
I like doing both because I like both setups. I like the one you can see the animals, kind of cool. The other one is more like you have the dance and the band. I like them both.
Yeah,
they're always a blast.
Okay, so I'm gonna get back to my story really quickly. So me and Joe, and we'll get a review after this. Me and Joe. Did a half marathon today in Flossmoor, Illinois. It's called the Hidden Gem. It was a blast. Almost seriously felt like I was gonna die.
Yeah.
But
felt so good for so long, and then I crashed so hard at the end. It just hurt my body.
It was the last 3 miles were effing miserable. But me and Chris, this was the night before, we did a big pasta dinner. So I made a bolognese, and Chris, and I had a slice of garlic bread. I tasted that bolognese for 13.1 miles.
No problems. Felt great.
When you just burped at me, I got
all 13 miles today. Chris is like, I feel great.
I didn't run 13 miles, but I wasn't burping up anything.
I'm happy I did it.
I mean, I was meeting the pavement pretty hard today.
We did not do the training necessary for that.
No, absolutely not.
I had not run, I'll be honest, more than a 5. No, the most I ran was 4 miles. And I was like, this is comfortable. And then I just never really gave it a thought again.
I got to I
poor.
legitimately got to 9 today, Joe. I'm not even kidding you. I got to 9 and I was done. I don't want to do this anymore.
John. Oh.
Yeah, I thought
Your beer was about to rush up there for a second.
Got it.
And I was in a good pace, not knowing that I was running 7.5 minute miles. But so it was really nice about this in Flossmoor. You guys are absolute gems. It was a blast. The whole freaking city. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. The whole city was out there hanging out with us. But so okay, that was just kind of that thing with Chris burping and just giving me a whole. I just got his Italian sausage. I was thinking about the run, and I'm tasting garlic bread and bolognese.
Getting me hungry here, Peter.
No,
I had a Cliff Bar right before that because I hadn't eaten anything, and I was tasting that Cliff Bar. I was constantly trying to swallow down that Cliff Bar for the first 4 miles. Real question,
Joe. What you bring on that today?
Huh?
How many bathroom breaks?
I didn't take one bathroom break.
Not one.
Not one bathroom break. I literally came into this and I know I'm convinced I'm gonna poop during this race. I'm gonna have to go. It happens every anything over 5 miles.
Just like 5, no, about 6, still nothing.
Yep. But no.
And the best part was there were so many bathrooms. Porta John.
Oh, it was. If I had to, I had plenty of opportunities.
I just was and there's hidden ones behind bushes, and I'm like, this is perfect for Joe. Joe could go to he would be king of the throne.
It's not perfect for Peter. Peter's like, where's that alley that I can take a quick?
I'd be in a zero pressure position, and I think that's what it was. I was comforted in the fact that it was there, so I didn't have to go.
What song did the band play for you when you ran across the football field?
Oh, I don't know.
I got charged. Charge!
Yeah.
This is so awkward.
It was so
Why? Why am I the only one running through this right now?
Everybody had stopped for water.
I would like to have Rocky coming through as I'm going through.
Yeah, I'm not going. If they're going to play anything, they better be playing. You're going to fly now.
There were so many people out, though, for that. Throughout the whole thing. There countless people. It was unreal.
Flossmoor is probably so lit right now because people were taking down tequila. The beers were flowing.
Some guy right at mile 12 had a Miller Lite that he was giving out to people. And I was like, oh, man, I kind of want that. It would be so good right now. But I need to finish this race.
No chance. I did not want anything but to stop.
You should have sprayed it on your nipples so they wouldn't stop shaking.
Pat couldn't wait to get to the nipple talk. He loves the nipple talk.
I think about
Miller time.
I've heard more about Peter's nipple today than I ever wanted to hear in my entire life.
Dude.
I didn't even send you the picture I was going to send
I don't want to see pictures. I don't want to hear anymore about nipples.
I'm going to get it real nice and close to Pat. So with a little bit of the blood that's coming out these days.
Mine looks like
Lauren's such a lucky lady.
Yeah, let's probably move away from the nipple talk. All right, so what do you guys think? Is this what you remember, Chris?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'd like to say Adam's beer better.
The
Oktoberfest for them, personally.
Well, no, but so this is the pumpkin. We had this October pumpkin. What did you think compared to that one?
I like this one better.
This one better than that one?
Than the Jacko whatever?
Yeah,
this is better than the Jacko thing.
I like the Jacko, I think. I don't know.
I think
I'm with Bill Burr. It's all right.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything great for me. Kind of just like my beer.
A Coors Light.
Yeah, kind of like a Coors Light.
I was thinking about that today too when we were talking to Gavin about his college graduation and we were drinking those craft beers. I'm like, I remember we used to try to be like these IPA guys, and we all have IPA. We're like, we just cannot like these.
It's just, it's nice to have.
We like a domestic.
But it's like, yeah.
We're simple guys with simple taste.
Yeah.
Coors Light, do you hear that? Do you hear that?
We're starting a campaign. We're starting a campaign. We're going to start harassing Coors Light on Twitter.
We got to get them on the Twitter.
We are.
We got to go on the line and get them.
We're getting them.
It's going to be Coors time now, Pat. Coors time.
It's refreshing, so it keeps the nipples cool.
Jesus Christ. You guys are. You know what's killing me is when we were running today, Flossmoor is a beautiful golf course.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I would 1,000% rather be in the golf course right now than my nipples being super chafed right now.
Back to the nipples again.
I'm sorry, my bad. I forgot we ended that.
It was, mine looks like spoiled pepperoni.
Oh, Jesus.
Like,
Can we move on, please?
That was a good end on that one.
It is rough.
Bet, you wanna give us your little... I got a couple too, but you want to give us a little...
Yeah, let me pull this up.
Yeah, get us off the nipple talk?
Yeah. I mean, anything with a nipple talk. I'll read the alphabet to you if you want.
Okay. No, thank you.
Okay, so I was coming across this article this week. I thought it'd be interesting to get your guys' take on this. So this girl, I believe she's in somewhere in the South. It's not important where she's at.
Sorry.
But she
just remember something I didn't want to forget about.
She was doing the pandemic. She met this guy on Tinder, and after like a couple weeks of sort of being together, they decided they want to be in a relationship. So she decided to draft.
Is that how that works?
I guess to draft a relationship contract. It's a 17-page relationship contract.
Is she a lawyer? But did they?
No, the boyfriend is pre-law though, evidently.
Okay.
So there's some interesting things. Like, first of all, would you guys ever in your right mind sign one of these things? So here's some of the interesting or the highlights of the clauses. Their boundaries, about me, family stuff, and future stuff are the sort of things that were covered.
What person is
boundary? What does that mean?
So like there's sections. Like it's like
that's the sections of this contract.
Yeah.
Oh, like
so boundaries. There's things about me, and there's family boundaries.
Yeah. So she wants you to be like transparent, honest, communication, stuff like that. When she's saying no, there's a section about prying, which is when they're arguing, when I'm ready to talk, I will talk to you. When I go silent, you need to understand that it's stressful and concerning you, but I will come to you and I will talk. And then my friends and family says, you do not get to determine who I get to talk to in my life. You can share your opinion, but I will decide who's in my life and who's not in my life. And then
she must have had a really bad.
Yeah, she did say that before, that she had a very I forgot what the word was. Maybe abusive.
I mean, you gotta kind of commend her on a positive note that she knows what she wants. Yeah, and she's like, "This is it."
And if you don't want it,
she says on dates that the guy should pay, but when they're just kind of hanging out and having food, that they should go Dutch, which is fair, I guess. It's fair for her parts.
Wait, on dates you should pay.
Well, no, on dates like if he takes her out somewhere, like he takes her out to dinner, like he's paying for it. But if they're like hanging out at their apartment and having Chipotle, she'll split it with him. What a mensch.
That's not no. The women want half and half.
She also said her dog is if he doesn't like the dog, it's a deal breaker because she loves the dog more than anybody else.
Okay.
But I guess my point is like
this is a lot. I'm already exhausted.
If you were given this, what would your reaction be? Because mine would be thank you, but I'm going to pass on all of this.
Depends because he's already in, so he's in a place.
But this is 2 weeks
after.
Oh,
2 weeks.
2 weeks after.
Wait,
dating.
how do you decide you want to be in a relationship after 2 weeks?
Well, that's a whole other. We'll go to the Patreon on that one.
Okay, my bad. I didn't know that 2 weeks is relationship worthy.
I don't know, but that's wild. 2 weeks in. I mean, it's.
Well, at least you brought it up 2 weeks in because then you're like, all right, you.
Like, I gotta commend her in a certain way. Like,
yes, because you want somebody to be honest with you because you're right because you a lot of people are just gonna mess around for.
She's 21 years old.
No, fuck it, you're done.
I think
I'm trying to give this lady like props, but if this happened to me, I'd be like, I need to get the fuck out. So I'd probably date her for another 6 months, and then
Joe has a conference calls about how he's broken the contract in the last week.
I'm not gonna lie, if I could make it to 2 weeks, seeing somebody would be a fucking miracle.
Chris is like, I might take it.
I'm playing fucking hide and go seek, and nobody's searching for me over here.
All right, well, Chris is calling her. Hey, I'm all. You can add another page of things that you.
No. If she gave me that, I'd laugh at her and give it back to her and just walk out.
But I think you gotta. I do think.
No. I can totally understand where she's coming from, but I don't need. I'm not gonna. If somebody's gonna hand me a paper like this is what I want in the relationship.
No, my philosophy is always if you had a problem, just bring it up, and if it ain't gonna work, it ain't gonna work out at that point.
Yeah. Bill Burr did.
What the fuck are you gonna do? You gonna bring that paper to court and sue my ass because
that's what I was also thinking. There's no ramifications for it, really. Like this is what it is. So you're not looking at the bargain. Like, okay, I guess we're gonna break up. It's no different than any other relationship. In that, I guess, in the end of the day,
you're so right. Yeah, I kind of.
At the end of the day, there's no really way to enforce it. So it's like the enforcement is I'm gonna break up with you. So like, well, if this is what I have to do and you don't like it, then if you got likes it and he wants to deal with it, then that's what he's gonna have to put up with.
That's interesting. That's wild.
This is so crazy. I mean, dating now.
But I mean, like, she's so young. It's like 21 years old. You don't need to fucking deal with any of that shit right now.
I forget who the guy who said it.
I'm 35 and I don't want to deal with that shit.
23, you're just trying to get it in somewhere, man.
No, not everybody. I think everybody matures and looks at relationships differently. But I forget who the guy that said it. But people should not be looking like in our day and age now. We have so much opportunities. we can travel the world, all that. It's not immediately about having kids and for, like settling down. You shouldn't find a serious relationship until you're closer to 27. That's for at least for males, that's where you truly are the most mature. And date, like, it doesn't mean to be a freaking whore from 20, and get all the STDs.
Like Peter McGraw, don't be a whore.
Peter saying, do as I say, not as I do, all right?
But it means, like, hey, go and enjoy life, travel, like, do things, and then when you're 27...
Do things that make you happy and everything, yeah.
And then, and also meet a lot of people, because you are never going to know. Unless if you... It's crazy because you go to college and you think that's... You meet somebody there and you think that's it.
Yeah.
And you just don't know, like, what you truly want. And that person that you're going to come out of college, most likely is going to be divorced.
They're going to be completely different people in 5 years.
Yeah, definitely. But that is, I think that's kind of how the world is. Dating now is so ridiculously different.
Oh yeah, I mean it's so, it's more casualized, I think.
Yes.
Because it's so accessible now versus how it could have been years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what my contract says. Literally, if I had a dating contract, it'd be like, Saturday, I hang out with the boys. That's it. That would literally be my contract. It's like,
please just talk to me.
Just find me in the hide and seek, please.
Two clauses. Or 3 clauses. Find me in hide and seek. Saturday for the boys. And you make sure that there's Coors Light around.
Oh, I like that.
Chris,
that's a pretty easy
Chris,
contract.
like, I go to your apartment, there's no Coors Light, we're done.
Yeah,
we're done. Get done. We're done.
I'm going to walk back out the door and I'm never coming back.
I'm going to give you one more chance.
This is PumKing. It's a secret.
No, this is a warning. I will come back one more time.
You hear that, Coors Light? You hear that? That's how much we love you. That I'm willing to just walk out the door for
Coors Light, this is episode 49.
Chris will not go on another date until we get Coors Light sponsorship.
We have begged you for 49 episodes. Just take a look at us. Shoot us a little Twitter, maybe a direct message, show us a little wink. That's all we're asking for, baby.
All we
want is acknowledgement.
If Coors Light
Talk
was
dirty to us, damn it.
Would we have to be exclusively Coors Light of the beer then?
Well,
I would be.
That's okay.
Okay, just throw it out there.
No, that would probably ruin I like us trying different beers. Joe,
we tried a Coors Light.
you left us on a freaking cliffhanger. Not last week.
This
The
story
week
is
before.
So not worth the 2-week hype. Yeah, it's like I feel bad. But okay, so this is the porno mag story. Dirty Magazine Day.
Dirty Magazine. And then
What,
you look at his
what day is it?
Duty Magazine.
It's Wednesday.
Oh, no,
It's Duty Magazine Day.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. So
Wait, what did we say? Dirty Magazine
Dirty
Day?
Magazine Day. I messed that up.
And I fell right along, Joe.
That's the USA edited version of the movie.
Yeah. So I honestly don't know how the I wish I had like the part where I was like talking to my dad and then we were like this decision was made. I honestly think it was something. I don't know how it even came up, but I just found myself in front of a J.J. Pepper's, right by the old Blockbuster there.
Oh, yes, on Harlem and
Yeah.
like Lawrence over there.
Yep,
Yes.
Yeah. And he came back and bought me a Playboy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's by that, like,
That's
Subway.
where you bought that.
It's like Harlem and Gunnison.
Yep.
That's where you bought that juice the one time after you won the lotto.
That J.J. Peppers, I think, is still there, or it's like a
It
like
should
a
be, yeah, it's something.
maybe it's not J.J. Peppers, but it's still like a quick
Yes.
mart type
Not
thing.
relevant to the story at all.
It's
Well,
okay,
no,
it's
it's just
fine,
I
yeah.
just remember seeing the logo and like it is like basically a 7-Eleven, and he goes to the magazines and he buys it. I come back and who is it? But that's the model for that is Pamela Anderson.
Oh, nice. Wait, okay. I'm sorry. Can we take a step back? So,
Yeah,
why did you go to J.J. Pepper's?
I think it was just like close, you know.
How did it come up to?
I don't know. I literally it was something like
Dad said it was Miller time. He wanted some Miller Light.
I don't know. I can't.
How
really
old were
remember.
you?
12 years old.
So it's like, I would love to see some boobies. And his dad's like, Playboy time.
Wait. So you're
It's
12 years
probably
old?
yeah.
You probably wanted
But
to-
I do
were you
remember
going-
like sitting or not sitting, like we were just talking,
Okay.
and it somehow organically came up, and he's like,
Joe, you like tits? Yes.
yeah,
Let me get you these things.
something like
Son,
that.
if I show you 2 magazines, one with a naked woman, one with a naked male, which one do you prefer?
No, it was not like that, Pat. He's so progressive for that time.
He would, if you said the wrong answer, he probably would have slapped you. No,
Yeah.
uncle.
So, good lord. So, he's like, would would you want to get? I think maybe we had just gone to Blockbuster.
That's what I was thinking.
And he's like, there's no pornos here, so I gotta get this kid some movies.
Well, he's like, no, Pat, goddamn, Jesus Christ.
Just let the man tell the story. I'm really interested in the story.
Maybe it came up at Blockbuster then. And so he's like, let's do. And I remember seeing it, and I was like,
do you think you asked for it, or do you think your dad just like?
I think I kind of tested the waters.
My kid's like, a little kumsa.
Could I
get him going? We gotta get him going.
I was like,
I get him on the right path here.
Yes, I'd be interested. It would be like it's like girls like taking Instagram photos. They're like, no, don't do it. Don't take a photo of me in front of this wall. Like, that was my no. I don't know if I like movies. I mean, if you had proof, maybe I could see something. Like maybe I'd get an idea. Like, but I mean, nah.
Joseph, would you like to go to the brothel? Let's start with the Playboy first.
And Joe, how did your mother feel about this when you got home with Playboy magazine?
Well, we didn't tell her for a while. But then all of a sudden it came out like on accident. My dad mentioned it, and my mom just looked at me and she goes, "You have a Playboy?" This is like 3
No. This is so awkward.
Yeah, she goes, "You have a Playboy?" And I go, and she just like rolled her eyes and walked away. She's like, "My dad's name is Joe. Like that's what they call him." She's like, "Joe, you're ridiculous." Just like, this is, I don't know what to do. Like, this is, okay, whatever, I'm out. Like,
But that's so, your poor mom is probably looking at you like, my little boy.
He's not a boy anymore, he's a man, damn it.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
I honestly, I cannot contemplate my dad ever saying something.
Can I say this, though? The worst part was, like, this is like
were you guys, like, in the car looking at it together? Is that the worst part?
This is, like, pre-internet.
It's not real, son, let me tell you what.
No. But, not to be a jerk, but Pamela Anderson was older in this. Like, it was weird. It wasn't like,
Oh, so it's kind of like that one time we went to Traverse City and Peter got the lap dance from the old stripper there.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. I don't want to go into
that.
that.
Lap dance. He was sitting next to the stage and she used Peter as a prop during her routine.
Yeah, not good. Not recommended.
It was just such a shitty, like, image, though. Like, it was just, like, weird.
She was trying to shoot Peter in the face with the ping pong ball, and it didn't go very far.
I think she was, like, in her 40s or something. Like, but, like, it was just, like, I don't know. It just, like, there was a lot of plastic at that point.
So, me and Chris used to work
Joe, which of these ones were the ones that Pamela Anderson that you got?
Oh, my God.
Do you still have it?
No.
Did you frame it, Joe?
I legitimately probably tossed
it. Was too sticky.
It was, Jesus.
You know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to bury that in the woods for other kids, Joe.
Yeah, I was a bit.
Did you share it with Reno?
You gotta donate it.
Did you bring it to class?
I feel like no, I was never there.
Reno probably stole it.
Reno just happenstance across it and it disappeared. I don't know what happened. I never saw it again.
Oh, I don't know if I should tell this story, but when we used to work at my uncle's bagel shop, and not my uncle, but he had a cabinet, like a filing cabinet.
Oh, did he now? Mr. Anderson.
No, not Mr. Anderson, my other uncle.
Your priest?
No.
No, we have another uncle. Well, that process of elimination on this one. Not
talking.
Swear to God, Pat.
Well, we're done with this story because we can't have this brought up in front of us anymore.
You're right.
I mean, if it was a priest, it would have been a really interesting story. Let me tell you what.
Oh, Pat.
They're ruining a good story, Patrick.
That was them.
This is the one. We found it. Thanks, Google.
Oh, nice. They did like a biopic on Pam recently.
Nice.
Yeah, her and Tommy Lee, like they have like a. I don't think it's out yet, but.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think you're right. It's not out yet.
Been a lot of hype around it though.
Jesus.
I like how 20 years later you can still picture that you can still pop those pictures out
as
like
soon as
out of your head.
I was like, this.
That's
is
the
like,
one.
It's these photos here, like it's like a beach thing.
I mean, we all remember our first.
It was like the first. Yeah.
You're not gonna lie about it.
Joe was like Borat, and Joe was like Borat. I must capture Pamela Anderson.
Jesus Christ, Pat, you're never allowed another 8.5%.
I've only had a quarter of this beer.
Yeah, well, you're telling me, brother. I can't wait till we get at the end.
Yeah.
We're going to be telling people to take
on the front lawn.
I will say this though, I am finally not hurting from the run anymore.
You know what? That first beer after the run, I was like, I don't want to drink anymore. I hate beer. I hate my life. Second beer, I was like, ooh, I feel good, baby. I feel good. And then I got in the car.
And then I got to the office, it's like, I hate my life.
I hate my life.
It probably took Peter 5 minutes to go down the stairs.
I was
the door closed, and then you can still like ding.
You're like, is it Peter coming down the stairs? What's going on here?
On the way home, I was eating all of those like turkey bite things that we got, I was so hungry.
Yeah.
I was like, can we stop somewhere and get some food?
Chicken nuggets.
White Castle.
Oh, no,
Sorry.
jeez,
Sorry.
no. Oh my God, that would be death.
Oh yeah.
Then I would feel bad inside and out. Like it would not be good.
Joe wouldn't be here right now.
I'd be like, do I have coronavirus? Because I don't feel like it could get worse than this.
Okay, but so where'd you stop, bud?
We stopped at Canella's, and I got 2 spicy Bloody Marys, and Jesus Christ, that hits so nice.
Is Canella's a
nice.
restaurant or a chain or something? I don't know.
It's like a breakfast brunch
place,
joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been there. I've seen a couple of them.
We went to the one in
Oh,
Wicker
it's the
Park.
K. It's the K thing,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. They
Okay.
used to have one in Wrigley. I don't know if it's still there, and then we went to the one in Wicker.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went and worked for 6 hours.
Well, we had to go half an hour break there with the internet went down.
Yeah, it was nice chatting with you ladies. Okay, so we got a few things we're going to get to. We got our segment, news Joe doesn't know about, because Joe doesn't know anything about the news.
Yep.
He learned about love contracts earlier.
He did. And Pat stepped up. Pat told me today, comes up to me, he's like, I got a story. I'm like, way to go, Pat. Way to step up on this.
Once every 15 podcasts.
So I'm gonna I'll give you 2 because I had 3, but I'll give you 3. One's kind of a quick one, and I just like to give Chris a little props. If we ever do video, I don't know if we ever will, because I was thinking about it, I'm like, they're just gonna watch us sit around and drink. Like, I don't think we ever really need to do.
Well, they can see me flicking off Pat Lynch.
It'll probably be a long time before we.
They can see all the inside jokes that me and Chris have.
There you go. But Chris has a wonderful beard
All the eye contact.
that I
Yes, he
hate
does.
more than anything in the entire world. But they're doing
That's
some.
not sure you hate your other brother's beard even more than this beard.
It is. His beard is magnificent.
Yeah, I don't know how you. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, you're right. When
You
I look
have
at
a
Patrick,
nice squared off lumberjack beard,
Yeah.
just to paint the picture for.
You want to ride it later?
Pepsi's beard doesn't go past his, like, he grows like chin down.
Thanks,
It's so
Pat.
weird.
Thanks, Pat. Research. They're doing some research on why we evolved to grow beards, and one of the things they think is to soften a blow when we used to fight all the time.
Yep.
And MMA is known that for that's why you see Conor McGregor have a beard. You see all those guys have beards. It's because it softens the blow. It slides it off, and then it also dents it.
Didn't even help Masvidal against Usman.
Yeah.
I will say this: it's interesting because when I did Golden Gloves, they make you shave all your facial hair. Like you can't fight
with the beard.
even like 5 o'clock shadow.
But you have headgear on though, anyway.
You do have headgear. I mean, it's amateur boxing. It's not
I feel like headgear would kind of
But
wouldn't matter anyways. With
their thought is that especially it'll tear the skin more. You know,
Interesting.
as opposed to I don't know, maybe it has something to do with the helmet being on, like you wear or the headgear that you have on.
You don't really see boxers too often with facial hair at all, really.
No, you're right. I don't think so. Yeah.
That's really an MMA thing.
Other than like Deontay Wilder had a small little thing, and then the Gypsy King had like a big beard, but
he's clean shaven now, isn't he? No.
He's got like the sharp goatee kind of thing going on. Like it's not like
he's got the Patrick McGraw under the neck type thing going on.
So I thought
they always made us shave, which is interesting because you think, oh, this might actually help us.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of interesting, and so maybe Chris, ready to get in those bar fights, he's gonna be good to go.
Chris would be taking those punches like Neo in the Matrix.
I think if you punch Chris, you don't know where his jaws is. You might just miss his throat.
In New York City, a couple weeks ago, the subway system was shut down for several hours, and as everybody can imagine, several hours with the subway system.
Was it because of flooding?
This is
from the flooding.
Yes, and
that was crazy too.
Yes. Oh, all those videos of the flooding was just insane.
I saw one dude in his alley, just on a raft, just floating down the alley.
Yeah, just crazy.
Wild.
And they were trying to investigate why this was down. And you could just imagine New York, the subway system is life for a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
And do you want to know the reason why the subway was down for 7 hours?
I
Is
do.
it a rat or a crocodile?
Nope. Somebody accidentally turned the button off. There's an emergency power button.
Wait, how many hours was it out?
Wait.
I think that would be like one of the first 3 things they check.
Wait. Hold on.
There's an emergency
There's
power
a
off
single
button.
switch that turns off the entire subway
Emergency.
system?
So say if the flooding, emergency, so that the electricity goes
So
off.
it turns off one section, but the whole thing is screwed because when you turn one section, it kind of messes the whole thing up.
I didn't really get into details. Again, this is Saturday pregame fact.
Well,
Okay.
give me some
Listen,
false statements then.
It's a system-wide shutdown of some
Yes.
sort. Whatever the reason is.
The whole entire
It
grid
was
is
on
off,
August 29th, and there was a strong possibility that the button was accidentally pressed since the plastic guard designated to prevent the accidental activation was missing. So somebody accidentally hit
Somebody did not. Somebody purposely turned it off and was like, ha ha, none of your bitches getting home tonight.
So
somebody got fired and they got pissed.
Someone working for the seat. Someone working for the had one girl he was seeing. This other girl was coming. He's like, I can't tap this. Bam, hits the thing, and she ain't going nowhere.
I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, you gotta imagine, 'cause they're all freaking out. What is going on? Get it going.
We still got power. There's power coming to it. Okay, check this. Check that. Check it. Did anybody check the button yet?
Then you know that one guy's like,
there's somebody in the background like, hey, did we check that emergency off button? Nah, it's not that. You're an idiot.
Did we check
Hey,
the on-off
there's a
switch?
plastic cover on that, guys. There's no way it's getting hit.
Nobody's gonna touch that with a plastic cover.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
You know what that reminds me of, though? Wasn't it like 3 or 4 years ago that Hawaii had an emergency missile alert?
Yeah, somebody pressed the button that said that like there was a nuclear missile heading.
It's funny
Guess
now.
your loved ones could buy. Yeah, at the time you were like,
Hawaii the air rides went off like accidentally.
And a text message. You got a text message.
So the whole entire thing, it came on TV and everything. Like it was like an emergency thing. Like we're about to be hit by nuclear missiles. Pretty much kiss your ass goodbye.
Do you notice people confessing some shit that they 10 minutes
people,
they're like, oh,
it's so
there's parents who had to decide which, and they showed which kid they loved more because they only had time to get to one kid to say goodbye to, and they went.
Oh Jesus!
Hey, Ma, guess what? Didn't hear from me today.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a rough one.
Joe's like, I heard Katie hear from you guys today. It's bullshit.
Okay, so do we want to do the
FanDuel first?
You want to do FanDuel? Okay. So for those who don't know, FanDuel gives you $60,000
a week or
every week.
Okay.
So your lineups resets every week.
Yeah, each player is assigned a value, and you
don't own anybody.
You got to be under the budget.
Yeah,
and I kind of understood. I just wanted to make sure it was $60,000 every week.
And then you got to pick a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers. 2 receivers, a flex, a tight end, and a defense.
So you're literally picking a fantasy
no kickers.
Team.
Yes, you're picking a fantasy team, Joe, but it's
no kicker.
But everybody can pick the same fantasy thing. Everybody can pick the same.
Oh, so this is just
so every week the person who picks the best lineup gets the money for that week, and then you're getting points every week. Yes.
So like hired players will be more expensive.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. So and then each week.
Look at Joseph.
Each week
it's like a video game.
And each week your points build up, even if you don't win the week. But if you're doing well at the end of the year, there's money to be pulled.
Oh, that's cool. So they do it by most points.
Yeah. So so this week, if we
what are the scoring system?
I didn't get into that.
Is it? Can you tell me if it's PPR at least?
Yeah, Pat, it's PPR.
Yeah. Rules and scoring. Way to go, Pat.
This makes a big difference in who you choose.
2 conversions. Wait, let's see.
Well, we don't have field goals.
Oh, passing touchdowns are only 4 points.
That's actually more than normal.
Okay.
Receptions are half point.
Okay, so it's half point PPR.
Got it. Okay. Thanks,
cool.
Pat.
I know what that means.
Woo! 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 So what I chose before we came here tonight, so I'll make this quick, is I went with Trevor Lawrence at $6,800.
Nice.
I don't like that already.
With you at Houston?
I don't like Trevor Lawrence's first game in the NFL.
He's solid. He's on the stardom list for the stardom sit-em thing I read.
I'll pick Trevor Bauer's my favorite.
I got Christian McCaffrey for $10,400.
Okay.
Who are they playing? Jets? That's not
Carolina.
Bad. They're playing
the Jets. The Jets. Jets.
Clyde Edwards.
Hilarious.
Yep.
Oh, man, if he goes off, I'll be thrilled because I'm on fantasy team.
I'm not huge against Browns have a decent defense. I'm going to throw the ball more, but we'll see.
Okay. That's fair because we have $300 left and we can take that out and get a better another
$7,100.
We got Stephon Diggs for $7,900.
I like Stephon Diggs.
We got Brandon Ayuku for $6,500.
He's on the stardom sit-em list that I have. Stardom.
I got Michael Pittman Jr. for $5,300.
Is that the one that I'm looking at?
The NFL one?
I'm looking at the CBS Sports one.
I got Michael Pittman Jr. for $5,300.
Don't know who the fuck that is.
He's an Indiana receiver.
Yeah, dude.
Not a bad option with what's the name playing?
Yeah.
I got.
Is Carson Wentz playing?
Yeah.
I got Jonas Smith playing versus.
I love Jonas Smith, that piece of shit.
I love him, but I don't know if it's. I kind of want to see what that offense would look like before we start.
I'm more of a Jonah Hill guy.
And I got Antonio Gibson and the Denver Broncos.
I like the Denver Broncos against the Giants.
Antonio Gibson versus the.
What other options do we have for quarterbacks in that range?
Okay.
Keep going down.
We could get.
You got $6,800, right?
Yeah.
Him? So
Yeah.
we
could go with Justin Herbert for 7.
I don't like that against fucking.
Yeah, Washington, I wouldn't go with that one either. Even though I'm starting him in 2 of my leagues, but.
We can go with Baker Mayfield.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
We got Jimmy G.
Who did Jimmy play for now?
San Francisco.
Oh, he still plays for San Francisco?
Daniel Jones for 67.
They didn't do well last season, did they?
Jameis Winston.
No, because they were injured. We got Tua. We got Teddy Bridgewater.
What is Jameson coming at?
Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
he's coming 6,700 at Green
It's
Bay.
$100 less than fucking Trevor Lawrence.
Here's my thought on that game.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
My thoughts on that game would be that Winston, I feel, is going to throw the ball a shit ton because I think they're going to be a high-scoring game against Green Bay because I don't think that defense is shutting down Green Bay too much. On a personal level.
Okay. Is that what you want to do?
I would just kind of like to see what I would like to see. I get the Lawrence to Houston. I think Houston be bad, but I would like to see Lawrence.
We could take Baker Mayfield for 7,100 versus they're going to fucking throw.
Yeah, that's a good option. I'm starting Austin Hooper in one of my leagues trying to catch lightning and bite a little bit.
Are we okay with Jonah Smith or do we want to?
What are the other options we have?
At 4,900.
We wasted all of our goddamn
More or
money.
less.
4,900 or less. We got.
You can get Hunter Henry.
You could get Hayden Hurst.
No.
You can get the guy from Cincinnati.
C.J. Us.
No.
Jack Doyle.
Also no.
Gerard Everett. It's Seattle and Indy.
No.
Anthony Fritzker.
Tennessee does like their tight ends, but I don't know about that. We got to see how it plays out a little bit.
Harrison Bryant.
So basically, a whole lot of nothing.
You're getting nothing. Yeah. Because the fact that
What were
Hunter
the
Henry's out.
receivers we got?
We got Stephon Diggs and Brandon.
Is Henry out for sure?
I think so. I thought he was out for like the first 3 weeks.
I don't know about that. That's what if he's out, then I like that. I like it a lot better then.
Okay, so that's what we're gonna go with, boys. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if you're doing FanDuel, you're not gonna hear this, but you're gonna hear us.
So we're in a league where we play against other guys, right? So
Yeah.
do we get money from them if we do it?
Yeah, we're in for 100, and each week pays out 50.
Okay.
No, Hunter Henry expects to play Sunday.
That's what I thought.
With Jonas Smith.
Yeah, he's
They're both
expected.
playing.
Like they literally said, he's expected to miss multiple weeks, and now all of a sudden he's playing.
What
We
are
could get Cleveland.
What are our two receivers?
No.
I believe those are all solid picks.
Our two receivers are Stephon Diggs and Brandon Ayuk.
And Michael Pittman.
And Michael Pittman's our flex.
What's Ayuk? Who maybe?
Oh no, that's the third receiver. I'm sorry. Ayuk is the San Francisco. I'm not saying it right for sure.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk. Anyways, but I'm saying what other options?
7,900, 6,500.
If we how many points we need to get somebody from tight end that we probably would we like more? I guess is the question.
Well,
And is there a receiver we could swap to get that points out?
Great points, Pat.
Great points.
You're bringing some serious.
Irv Smith is worth
knowledge and
$5,300 right now.
contemplation to the game.
He's not playing.
I didn't like any of the tight ends.
Go up or down.
I mean, to get one of the top or tight ends, how much would it cost difference wise?
Like we're looking at say Travis Kelce's $8,500.
Okay.
George Kittle $7,000.
What's the second tier? Like, give me what's Kyle Pitts at?
Kyle Pitts, 6,000.
And how many? What's the other guy at?
He's at 4,900.
Oh shit, we're not gonna get Kyle Pitts this week. All right, let's go with that, Peter. Let's do it. I like it.
All right, so Jonas Smith might be the only one we change. We'll think about it later. Let's not waste too much more time on the podcast for that. Joe, do you want to give us your lock of the week of the century, or do you need some more time?
Lock of the century.
No, I got it.
The Joe C. Lock of the Century of the Week.
Of the week!
First week.
Woo! Let's go!
We're excited.
Well, I did have it, but now I'm like, oh man, I'm recontemplating it. I think
Joe's taking the Chicago Bears. No.
I think it's well, I was gonna go the opposite because that's like a certain, but I wanna start the game off a little more. Well, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
You're rambling, Joseph.
Who am I lying?
You're rambling, Joseph.
San Francisco.
Solid.
My lock of the century of the week.
Over the lowly Detroit Lions.
The
I like
Joe
it.
C. Lock of the Century.
Joe's really going on the ledge this week,
Are we
baby.
going points, or are we just going straight up? I want San Francisco.
Just win. I mean,
Okay.
that's
Just
what
win.
What is the line on San
I gotta
Francisco?
warm
San
up.
Francisco is a 7.5 point favorite.
Yeah, I thought
Don't
so.
do
I gotta warm up.
Okay.
Because by the end I was like, okay, we're gonna go. I started picking points. I feel like by the end of the last week,
Yeah.
I started listening.
Joe's picking points. You don't understand what he means?
Chris,
Yeah.
can I get some tittle bitties?
So-
I've been waiting.
so this-
wait. I'm sorry. I cut you off again, but I've been
Let the
waiting.
man get his bit.
That's still our number one. I've been waiting a long time for this, and I'm glad to bring you back in. For the
I
tittle
mean,
bitties,
I've
baby.
been told that I've been cut to 30 seconds on these bad boys.
Allah,
So
Allah,
literally,
Allah.
I'm just going with first week. I'm just gonna go with the Bears. These are all Bears tickle bitties.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All Bears.
From Chicago, Illinois, Chris McGraw giving us the...
Are you doing it in the Da Bears fans?
Super
fans.
So Matt Nagy is 0-4 straight up and 1-3 against the spread in his career as a 7 or more point underdog. The Bears haven't won a game outright as a 7 or more point underdog since September 24, 2017 against the Steelers under John Fox.
Yeah.
That game, famous for the Steelers right guard coming out of the tunnel because they all played.
Yeah, and he stood up.
And also famous for the jackass when they blocked the punt where he ran down the field, thought he had a touchdown, and the guy sacked the ball in his hand at the 1 yard line, and he fumbled out of the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the game they won?
No, they lost.
Yeah, no, they won that game.
Yeah,
they won that game. They beat the Steelers.
But the guy who dropped the ball was on the Steelers, right?
No, it was on the Bears.
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
I do remember that game.
Yeah. Another great one from this one is Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford hasn't been at least a 7-point favorite since week 1 of 2018 against the Jets.
That's got to be a product of his team, though.
The Jets beat Stafford's Lions 48-17. They believed in the Lions so much to be 7-point favorites that they got spanked by 31 points. 31!
And the Lions suck. No wonder Joe's picking against them this week.
And then,
was that last year?
No, that was 3 years ago. And then this one is good, and I think this one may kind of influence Peter kind of maybe to bet. This is the 4th straight season the Bears and the Rams have met with Matt Nagy and Sean McVay as head coaches. The previous 3 times, the under has hit each time with the games averaging 26.3 points per game.
Big but on that, you had 2 enough quarterbacks in those other 3 meetings. And Stafford is a quarterback that actually can move the ball at least a little bit. Yeah. I'm not saying he's Aaron Rodgers, but you
also got to understand that the Bears know Matthew Stafford, considering they've seen him 2 times a year for like the last 10 years.
That's true, but have you seen the Bears secondary besides Eddie Jackson and Jalen Johnson? Not promising. Right?
I mean, you also got to understand that the Bears that started Andy Dalton at quarterback. You really think the Rams could get to the over by themselves?
Right, Joe?
Chris and I
good about that one.
Chris and I chatted earlier about the likelihood of Justin Fields making it before you got to the office today.
Allow me to deliberate on the intricacies of this oppositional.
Bring it in, Joe. Bring it in for the real thing right now.
Is that a word? Oppositional is not a word.
Don't. You quizzed him last week.
Listen,
he slapped you like
virulent is a word. I may have not finished the sentence, but the word is a word. No.
The word is the word.
The word is the word.
Well, the word is the word.
Okay, so we got San Francisco straight up by our man Joe. We got Chris looking like the Rams are gonna are definitely gonna take it. And
either Matthew Stafford's really gonna blow it again.
I mean, he's my fantasy quarterback here. I guess we need some points. I
feel like the under may be a solid bet considering I think
what is the under on the game?
You know what? I don't know. Let me take a look.
Pat, you raise a fantastic question.
But I mean, the Rams led the league last year in the under with their defense.
Yeah, they have a very good defense.
I think they were 12-3 with the under.
I don't know. I feel like this is a game.
So Darnell Mooney's going to make Jalen Ramsey his bitch again.
Yeah, right.
No. I feel like this is a game where people are thinking the Bears are going to get destroyed and the Bears are going to hang tough.
I mean, the Bears.
I get nervous.
I don't think the Bears are going to get blown out, but I think they're going to lose the game.
So we'll tweet this out tonight.
Rams are a 7.5-point favorite. The over/under is 46.5 points.
Oh, it's really low.
What does that mean?
So 40. Both
teams combined score can't be higher than 46.5.
So 21-20 is 41.
So they can't be 28-21.
So is that like a thing that was possible in this game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can see the Rams scoring 21 points. I don't see the Bears scoring 21 points.
The Thursday night game, Joe, the Bucks and Dallas
was 29-31, right?
Yeah, but it was 51 was the over. I think it was 52.5 was the over under.
Wow, that was so close.
Yeah, kicked me in the butt.
Ask Peter about that.
Yeah, not good. Yeah.
Is that normal?
No, you know what's insane is honestly, Las Vegas they're not building these shrines to themselves, knowing that we're gonna let you win.
They're betting on the backs of Peter McGraw.
They are insanely good at calling the lines. They're so good at everything that they do. I mean, you look at the over unders, it's never more it's never outrageously.
Chris, do you have the rest of the lines there?
You know what I mean?
Oh,
you think
we could maybe pick one under over line if we to throw like the parlay a little bit.
Second year.
I don't know that the over under is going to be good. Where we at, Joe West?
We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Woo, baby, baby.
The football seasons are always a little longer because of all the football stuff.
No, that's true. But I kind of like the hour-long ones.
Yeah.
I think it's
well, obviously you can't bet the Dallas game. Chargers and Washington, 44.5.
Yeah. I think that would go over them, actually.
Jacksonville, Houston, 45.5.
Depends. I don't know where.
San Francisco, Detroit, 44.5. 43.5 for the Jets and Panthers. They really think it's going to be a barn burner in Indianapolis. 50.5 over under.
Who are they playing? Indy's playing.
Indy, Seattle.
I would take the over in that.
Minnesota versus Cincinnati, 47.5. I could see the under on that.
One, yeah.
Man, I really know
48.5 for.
I said I really know these things.
48.5 for Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Arizona, Tennessee.
That one I would take the over on. That Pittsburgh one I took the over on that one.
Arizona, Tennessee, 52.5. Philly, Atlanta, 48.5. Miami, New England, 43.5.
I can see the Philly-Atlanta game being high scoring, too.
Denver, New York, the Giants, the G-Men, 41.5. Cleveland, Kansas City, 54.5. Green Bay, New Orleans, 49.5. Bears, Rams, 46.5. And on Monday night, 50.5 for Baltimore Ravens, Las Vegas.
I think you could see maybe the Monday night being under.
The one I liked the most is the over on the
I think the Ravens.
I you said the Saints game, the Saints Green Bay game.
Like I said, or the Steelers Bills. I can see that one going over.
Ooh, that's not a bad call too.
Because the Bills can put some points on the board, and the Steelers are no slouches either in offense.
On that lovely night, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a good spot. We're back into the NFL. We'll get these tweeted out so you guys can hopefully lose some money like we always do. We're really good at losing your money. At least the podcast.
Peter will reimburse you up to nothing.
Thank you again. If you're a first-time listener, listen or subscribe. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram at PodcastSMP. Shoot us an email if you got some stories, some whiskeys, some beers you want us to talk about. Feel free to hit us up at the smpodcast@gmail.com. Check out our sponsor at dealandtax.com if you need some tax and accounting services. And have a great week. We're getting close to real fall, and hopefully you guys enjoy the first week of the NFL.
I got a real good, heartwarming story, so we leave on a good note. There's a guy, a World War II veteran, got a letter 9 years ago from a girl that thanked him for his service and everything he did, and he carried around that letter. Some lady at the nursing home he worked with got a hold of the girl that wrote the letter, and she was so enthralled with the guy that she ended up joining the military, and they had like lunch and dinner together. And like this guy is just like so like he couldn't like talk. He was just so happy. He started crying. I'll give Peter the link. He can post it out for you guys.
Awesome.
But it was really it's so great. Like it brought a tear to the big guy's eyes over here. And I'm not a big teary-eyed kind of guy. But on that note, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.